Welcome to the Startup Superhero Series. I'm Heidi Hubling of Stubbs, Alderton, and Markiles' Preccelerator program. Today we're featuring Andrew Cheeseman. Andrew is one of our alumni companies with Team U from 2012, from our very first class of companies here at the Preccelerator. So welcome, Andrew. Good to have you here.
Thanks, Heidi.
So we want to talk a little bit about your entrepreneurial journey today. So what made you take the wild leap into entrepreneurship?
Well, I've been interested in being a creator of things for a long time. And also I'm interested in impact, so areas that have a lot of impact, and my particular passions for mind-body health and community and connectedness. And so I was really excited about creating something that could incorporate all of these together.
What are some of your favorite things? What do you really love about it?
Well, apart from those things, so the creation, the impact, and the passions, I have some interests as well. So I love people and what you can do with connecting people, and I love creating systems. So my belief is that you can't really grow unless you can delegate, and you can't really delegate unless you have a system in place. So I just love that stuff.
That's really. I think that it's one of those lessons that I think that we all learn, that it's one of those things that drives us to success, is the organization, being able to create those systems in place to get you to that next level.
Absolutely.
So let's talk a little bit about Team U. Talk to us about what Team U is, and along the journey that you went through with Team U, what was your proudest moment?
Okay. So Team U is a system that addresses one of the issues that is happening in schools. It's widespread. So the problem is around learning and apathy and teacher retention, and these are all interrelated. So Team U is a system that addresses those by creating a culture of empathy versus apathy. And it's a software-based system where students earn points for things like empathy and kindness and service. And you asked about one of my proudest moments.
What are you most proud of?
I think my proudest moment was when we got our first school up and running. Just seeing those points roll in, and realizing that whereas the norm in the industry is about 15% user adoption, we had 98% user adoption. I was very proud of that.
You guys really entered a time in the market where you could really make a difference. And it was before there was legislation involved that required incentive-based learning or positive reinforcement. And that really, you really had an impactful start.
Exactly, it was. In fact, as of the end of last semester, we had 30,000 students enrolled and who were collectively engaged in the system for 2.2 million hours per month.
Wow, that's very, very, very exciting.
Yeah.
So you've had those successes, and then along your full entrepreneurial journey, what's an important lesson that you've learned? What's something that you can give back as a lesson for wisdom to other entrepreneurs?
So I think the biggest lesson is this lesson around empathy. So my company is based on empathy, which gave me a particular lens to look at not just my customers, but the actual business. And what I came to realize is how deep the importance of empathy is. Not only for customers, of course, and understanding what their journey is, but also for employees, empathy for developers. So meaning when I develop something new for the software, I'm thinking about everyone who will have to interact with that change. Customer service, investors, empathy for empathy for everybody who's involved. So I think the big learning ultimately is that if you look at a business through the lens of empathy, you can discover things that you never knew existed. And it's one of many lenses, of course, but empathy is the interesting learning that I got from this experience.
Yeah, I think that's so important when it comes to, just even on the practical aspects of product development.
Yeah.
You mentioned about how users are going to use the platform, or how on the empathy on the side of investors or on the side of other strategic partners that you're going to have, other team members, right? Your core employees and the core team. I think that that's such a foundational characteristic.
It is, and just to take like the customer service example, empathy for the customer service staff is critical because done the right way, if we position the customer service role in the right way to customers and investors and partners and everybody else, then that role, rather than just being a supporting role, becomes the critical role. And so that means that job is really satisfying because you're executing and carrying out a really important role. But it has, it only happens if there's empathy for the person in that role or people in that role.
Yeah, very, very important.
Yeah.
And finally, going back to the Preccelerator, so you were early on in the Preccelerator program, but what is one of the greatest values that a program like the Preccelerator has had for you?
Right, so there are, of course, many different values. I mean, from a place to have meetings to the expert legal advice. But I would say that probably the biggest one is the impact that that mentors have had on me. So I've gotten some amazing ideas and feedback and support from some of the mentors. So that in a nutshell.
Yeah, they're a core value of this program. I mean, it wouldn't work without them. So we really appreciate you being here. And
Thank you, Heidi.
Hope to see you guys next time at the Startup Superhero Series.